But let's go through an example of antibiotic resistance that was hailed as evidence for evolution, but then when scientists dug deeper, it turned out to be evidence against evolution.
So Helicobacter pylori is a bacteria that lives in your stomach. It attacks the lining of your stomach and can lead to ulcers and stomach cancer. And it can be treated with an antibiotic.
Yes, here's how it works. The antibiotic is absorbed into the cell, into the bacteria, and inside the bacteria there's an enzyme which reacts with the antibiotic. And it converts the antibiotic into a poison. The poison kills the bacteria.
Yeah, however, there's a mutant variety of H. pylori. The mutation causes the bacteria to lose the ability to produce the enzyme. So the antibiotic is not metabolized into a poison and the bacteria lives. In other words, it survived because of a loss of function.
It then goes on to make more little copies of itself, and very quickly you have an entire strain of bacteria that is resistant to the antibiotic. But notice this important point. A loss of something produces a survival advantage. Or let's say something that was working becomes degraded or stops functioning altogether, and that produces a survival advantage.
Okay, this is a great example of natural selection and adaptation as a result of what could be called beneficial mutation, but it's a terrible example of evolution. Evolutionists focus on the new thing that the organism is doing, and from a certain point of view, we agree that new things are happening. I mean, the bacteria wasn't wiped out by the antibiotic. That's new. But even this very interesting gain of function mutation is not evidence for evolution.
To clarify how this doesn't help evolution, we could refine the terminology a little bit. Instead of saying that it's doing something new, it's perhaps more accurate to say that it's just not doing something old.
Right.
That is something that it did before.
Yeah, right. It used to be able to metabolize the antibiotic. Now it's not able to metabolize the antibiotic. It's lost that ability. The mutation broke that system.
A complex system that was working is now broken.
Right.
That's the simple part to grasp. What's a little harder is that broken system caused the bacteria to live.
Okay, so let's give an analogy. Think of a bicycle. Let's say that the bike is the enzyme and the bike plus the rider is H. pylori. Then a bacterium that is not antibiotic resistant is one that is moving along as usual. Then along comes a car, the antibiotic, and runs into the bike rider. The bacterium is dead. Now consider a mutation that removes a link from the bicycle chain and the bike no longer moves. The bike and the rider are now safe from the car. That is, they are antibiotic resistant, but they are not doing anything new. They are simply not doing something old, something that they previously had the ability to do, but do not have that ability anymore.
So in fact, the antibiotic resistance is not a gain of function, it's a loss of function. That type of change in living things is the wrong type of change needed to evolve a single cell into a human.